Imagine, if you will, in the world of Ashentale, on the continent of Shill, in the lands to the south, there lies a beacon of righteousness. Its brilliance illuminates even the darkest hours, ceaselessly combating corruption and greed. However, deep beneath the earth, an insidious malevolence stirs, drawing the unwavering gaze of fate itself. It slumbers, biding its time until it emerges from the depths with a voracious hunger for light. Yet amidst this impending darkness, the gods of Ashentale remain vigilant, strategically maneuvering their pieces on the cosmic chessboard.
Welcome back to Original GM. I am Hupahu, once again joined with the crew. All kinds of technical issues this morning, this afternoon, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Morning for us.
It's fine.
Kind of, sort of. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Good to see you. We are creating a graphic novel based on the last few episodes, which is kind of cool. We'll put
Really
that out
good.
when we do. Thank you. Cikala and I have been working on it. And,
What happened in that year that they were in the ship?
Yeah. So what an episode! What a arc that was.
So cool.
So we had talked about the fact that you guys needed to pick some things that you wanted to do during the time. The problem with it is that you only had 30 minutes of time. You had 17,520 of those in the time that you were locked in there. Chances are the whole crew has died at least once. That was not in game play. We did not have that situation happen, but there were other things that happened. You probably repeated yourself several times. The ship, when you guys come out of the time loop, those that were within the cargo bay will have more memories than those outside the cargo bay. It seemed to be centrally located, at least memories, to the cargo bay.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. When it comes to things that you wanted to do, I told you guys to write those down. We could discuss it, we could talk about it, and see what we come up with. You've got a couple hours that you're going to be heading towards the Lux space station. And the Valiant is destroyed. You have a couple dozen Void Vanguard on board with Captain Sejord, and yeah. Let's see if there's anything else I missed. You learned the weakness of the genomites was ice cold, that kind of thing. You learned that they have a parasitic infestation that they throw off when they explode or if they bite you. And currently, if you remember, Gavor transferred his consciousness into Zumbar.
Yeah. Zumbar's smart now,
Evidently.
which is quite a development.
Kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah, he's smarter than he was. So I didn't have a chance this week to put the stars in the background on the map, but just imagine that it is up in space, because that's where you're headed, and the space station is up off of Shill. Actually in space. When you come out of the time loop, the ship ages around you as well as yourselves. You need to add a year to your age if you haven't already. The ship itself is a year old now. It's had lots of wear and tear, so it's as if time caught up in some strange way.
Okay.
So keep in mind, you only had 30 minutes at a time, but now those of you that were in the cargo bay will have memories that you've done this so many times. You won't remember everything, but you can remember the things that you had written down that you wanted to try to accomplish, and we can discuss those in the next 2 hours heading back to the Lux. Your characters can kind of absorb some of that information. So we'll start with Hawk. We'll start with Seth. What does Seth want to do or try to accomplish?
Well, one of the main things he was going to do was explore the ship.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty common for him to be seen walking the halls, and he's always going to have a clipboard.
Okay. So he's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
on the 2 hours on the way to Lux. That's what he's doing.
Right.
Okay.
Even those half-hour things, if he's not doing something else like the fighting and all that other stuff, he's going to be walking around constantly. It's going to be a common occurrence for him to be seen with that clipboard, and sometimes he's going to have a cup of coffee or a cigar, he might even have a mug of ale, but he's always exploring the ship. He does make it a habit to, at least once a day, he makes sure that Ren and Zen have something to drink, whether it be coffee, and I know Zen likes her sangria, so he'll make sure that she has a glass of sangria and a sandwich, because he wants to make sure that they both eat. Because they get busy, and people forget to eat. And on that walk, he has time to think, so he wants to find a chance to find some alone time with Zen.
Okay.
Because he wants to talk to her.
Okay.
So if that's possible.
Yeah. There would have been 70,520 times. I'm sure there would have been at least one time that you could have spent the 30 minutes with her or whatever.
And
so yeah.
It's.
And what do you want to accomplish with that?
He basically wants to sit down with her, and he'll offer her a drink, and if she wants something to eat. And God, I'm getting to be as bad as my mother. He will not have a cigar. He will not have a drink. He will sit there very politely and say, "Zen, I owe you an apology. When we were at the temple and you and Doll and Ren came out, I said, to me, it felt very inappropriate what I said. And I've had time to think about it, and I want you to know that I'm sorry if it came off that way, because I don't ever want to say anything to you that is degrading or demeaning. You're very important to my sister and myself.
I accept your apology, but I was not offended, Seth. I am so used to that it's just kind of second nature.
Well,
it's just something that happens. And we did clean ourselves up very nicely, so it was our intent to try to draw that type of attention. So have no worries, my friend. Have no worries. I'm good. We're good. I'm more concerned about, well, at the time, my mind was somewhere else.
I understand that,
but I appreciate your apology and your friendship. And
your friendship is very important, and I want to make sure that. Sorry, fruit flies. I don't know. Everything we've tried hasn't worked. So
yeah, we've done everything we can to try.
It's important that
Zen sangria. That's what it is.
Right. A lot of fruit, but I know how important you are to Ren, and to be honest, you're important to me. possible?
Well, Ren and I have a very unique relationship, and I don't know what to think about it all at this point, but
I understand that.
we're going to be stuck here in this loop. Yes, it's just torture. This is torture.
It is. But
I'm sure we've had this conversation more than once.
at least we have each other.
Well, and that's the thing, yeah. Do we embrace that in its fullness, all of us, everyone on the crew, and ignore what is happening, or do we continue to try to get out of this? You know, we repair the engines, they're fixed, and then suddenly they're back to where they were.
Well, we can't not. But at the same time, why not, if we're going to be stuck with each other, why not enjoy the company of each other?
Yes, that's something I've mentioned to Zen and
To Ren.
or to Ren. I'm sorry, to Ren, and also to Sajord. And he's come from his ship to our ship a few times.
Good.
It's all very complicated.
Right? I don't know a lot of, well, yeah, I know very little about time manipulation, but it's...
I'm hoping that when this is all over, we will retain at least some of this.
You and me both.
She nods. And so you can get that taken care of. That was one of the 30-minute blocks that they had this conversation. And she will hug you and thank you for your apology, even though it wasn't needed. And that's what she'll say to you, it wasn't needed. So that's Seth. He got that done. What else did Seth want to do?
He's gonna find a place to practice changing into different cat forms.
Okay.
Even though, you know, you only have 30 minutes to do it, but he wants to try to find different cat forms, because I don't know how many different cats there are.
Yeah.
And that's something that would be...
Okay.
And he also wants to work out with, I guess I'll have to work out with the Vanguard.
The Void Vanguard?
Yeah.
Well, the Void Vanguard and the Geo9ers have calisthenics every morning. You could join them if you wanted to with that.
Absolutely.
The Void Vanguard, they work out like with weights and things like that, but they're not weights. It's makeshift. They have this bar that they use with crates, and they fill the crates full of shit, and they've been doing that for a long time. You can tell.
That'll work, because he wants to work on increasing his strength and his dex.
So strength and dex being increased through working out in calisthenics. The way that this works is you have to do it every day for a minimum of 3 months before there's a possibility that it could raise.
Right.
And so the fact of the matter is you only have 30 minutes at a time. It resets and you have memories, but your body doesn't. So you won't get anything from that. But if you start from this point on and you spend an hour, well, it would be 15 minutes to an hour a day. So it's not a lot of time. It's kind of like praying or whatever for the priests, clerics and stuff like that. So
well, he's going to do more like 2 hours a day if he can.
Regardless of how many hours you do it,
right?
It takes like 3 months.
Okay.
So it'll be a while. Anything else?
And he wanted to find out if there's a way to put multiple teleporters throughout the ship to be able to move faster throughout the ship.
So Kazav has 2 6th level spells, which is what is required to create a teleportation pad. So he could do 2 on the way back to Lux. He could do 2 and place them somewhere. He's already done 1 that was the day before inside of Cargo Bay. And so if you want to, so they don't go to each other.
Right.
They just, if there's a teleportation pad, you can teleport anywhere from that pad, anywhere on the Prime, actually. You can walk up the teleportation pad, just go out. So Rosa has been trying to keep this ship contained prior to all this happening, meaning that people could not telepathy, people could not go in and out of the ship. transport in and out of the ship. And so she's probably still doing that currently, so you would have to request that kind of thing to get off the ship currently. And she's going to allow telepathies that go through that, like with the E-lists or whatever, like, anything like that. And of course, you'll need to request her to do that, because in a way she's protecting your minds in the process of that from the outside. You still don't know how the necro things got into the ship. It's still something that's a mystery to you guys. They were just there. All right, anything else, Seth?
The only two that he can think of right now, as far as the teleportation places, one was in the meeting room.
Okay.
We're somewhere in that general area. The other one was where the Geoniners are meeting, or not where they're staying up in there.
Okay. All right.
Because that
So
would
the
get
crew quarters, and then
the
meeting room, and then the other one would be in the cargo bay. Is that Goodwood's in. Yeah. Okay. So because Zav could do that.
Because that way gets us back and forth quickly, and because running from one end of the ship to the other.
Yeah, that'll help.
Right.
That'll help in those areas. Okay, so he'll put 2 of those down on the way back.
Okay. And that's pretty much all Seth had.
Hey, what about Kara?
Kara would, her thing was to spend time with Risa.
Okay.
And because she wants to get to know her and also do work with her. And I had visions of her and Risa working together without even having to talk out loud, just doing everything.
So you and Risa develop a relationship time and time and time and time and time and time again, over and over. On the way back to Lux, your memories of your experiences with Risa are, for the most part, complete. You know the things that you and her have been through together and the times that you've spent together, but she's not as clear. You don't know unless you go talk to her, but
which she will.
We'll once you get your things done, we'll start the gameplay of going to the 2 hours back to Lux.
Okay.
And we can do that there. Anything else?
Working with Penitent on improving her engineer.
So he has every arcane engineer spell that there is.
Okay.
So he'll just give you a book that has every spell.
Holy crap.
You're not able to cast them all, of course.
Right.
But the ones that you're capable of casting, you can roll on each of those.
Okay.
I believe the arcane engineer does that. He or she has to roll, or they have to roll underneath each spell to learn it. Okay. And they can do that for each level.
And that would remind her that she has that arcane mage spellbook, the first level.
Yeah.
She would go to Ren and say, I have this spellbook. Do you know anybody that can use it?
Me.
Really?
Yes.
Here. Happy birthday. Wait. When's your birthday?
I guess technically it's today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She actually needs that. She can cast first level magic user spells now as an illusionist.
All right, so we're going to say that Kara did that a ton of times. You don't have it currently. The 2 hours going back to Lux, you could take care of that if you'd like to. But you'll have, I'm sure.
So many loops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what else, Kara?
Working with Dahl, actually walking up to Dahl and says, I know you like alchemy. Can you help me make a potion? Because I don't know anybody else that knows alchemy, and I want to try to make a potion, and this is something we're going to have to do again when we start, is make a potion that would help get rid of parasitic infection. Because we've got these guys and we can use them as guinea pigs, the Geo9ers, and try to resolve that parasitic infection.
So you'll be working with her and Risa on this because Risa's in Medical Bay with them.
Right.
You know, she's the one that has them contained.
Yeah.
So you'll all three kind of be working together on that.
Okay.
Now, as far as the alchemy itself, that's the two of you. But administering it and using test subjects, doing experiments and things like that will be all three of you. Now, once again, you'll have to redo this in the first 2 years coming along, so we'll wait to make those rolls. And I'll tell you what you're able to do. You both are master engineers and master inventors. So, I think. No.
I'm master inventor and master alchemist.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you're master. Okay.
She's got all three.
Okay.
So
inventor and alchemy is what you need. I apologize for the engineering. Yeah. So you're both masters in that, correct? So,
Yes.
all right. That lets me know capabilities. We'll do that in the 2 years going back. You guys have attempted
2 hours.
this. The 2 hours. You guys have attempted this several times. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. You attempted this several times.
Not cool, man.
Yeah. And I'll let you know, we'll do it there.
she wanted to try to make a sewing machine and a serger.
Okay. Same thing.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. So have those marked on things that you want to do once we start playing.
I can't tell you how many times she's had to remake your clothes. Oh my god.
So one thing that Kara would notice is that the uniforms are not magical.
Right.
So if you made all the uniforms out of that material, they would all be like +1 on AC.
She doesn't have that many uniforms or that many rolls of. She will eventually, but
Eventually, yeah, but
she was going to go back and buy them out of that.
okay. All right.
But she's got to have a sewing machine and a serger to do that.
To do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
She wanted to write new songs and prayers about Gold Star, and she wanted to work on a chant that was specifically about Gold Star.
Okay.
And it's actually like a dwarven kind of,
Okay.
because of the whole combat thing, she wanted something with a specific rhythm.
Okay.
Make a list of alchemy supplies, and that's something she would confer with Doll about. And I don't know how many times she'd rewritten that.
Right.
I've got a book at the house that I've been actually writing because that's how many things she's put in that list. And we're talking not only herbs, but poisons and acid components, talcs.
When it comes to poisons in specific, anything like that, it requires a poison proficiency.
She has that.
Okay. So
She has acids as well.
good.
And then she would be trying to work with Penitent on a way to improve the shields, because you had mentioned that the shields require an alchemy, or not an alchemy, arcane stone.
Yes.
And
Arcanite stone. So there are sections of the ship.
Right.
And each section of the ship has a Arcanite stone attached to the shielding. And once the shielding drops, it destroys the Arcanite stone.
Right.
And if the Arcanite stone is replaced, the shield will come back up.
So, what if there's a way for the have several stones in place?
Where they drop down.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, that will require engineering. It will require you doing several things to get that done, but
And have the stones separated by a plate that drop the stone as soon as the previous one goes away. And I actually have a drawing because, you know, engineer here. Guess what? They dropped and replaced the previous one up to, now the maximum I've been able to do this and actually have it work is 10. And that's for a standard stone that's 3.5 by 2.5. If they're larger than that, I would have to redesign it.
Well, that's their size, or, you know.
So, and it would fit like on the inside of the ship, and you could make a hole. If the shield's on the outside, you'd have a little hole where the stone goes. Bing,
So the
bing,
way
bing,
that it's
bing.
hooked up right now is it is on the inside of the ship,
Okay.
in boxes. There's these boxes on the wall that have an arcanite stone inside of them, and it's all been completed. You would just have to add some type of shaft at the top of it,
Right.
to drop them into it.
And that's what it is it attaches the box is here where the stone goes into, because the box is just a little bit larger than the stone itself, and the plates actually drop the stone into the box, and there's a little device that comes up along the inside of the shaft
Yeah.
that determines where the stone in the box is.
Okay.
If that box is gone, or not the box, the stone is gone, it releases the next one in line.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the design I came up with, but unfortunately I can only do 10 and it still work. If you put an 11th stone in there, it actually shuts the little thing on the side, it actually shuts that down because there's too much weight. And I can't get an adjustment correctly enough to account for the additional weight.
Okay.
I can't get the math to work out. And she's got the same level of mathematics as I do, so she's gonna have the same problem.
All right. So that can be done. That'll require, you know, anything.
Yeah, the rolls and all
The rolls
that.
and all that stuff, but we can
trust
do
me,
that.
I understand. And
So is that it with Kara?
oh, the shielding on the outside. You said that the shields can't touch. What if there is enough space between them, say 1/8 of an inch? I actually have it in centimeters, but that you can shield the entire ship instead of just sections.
It's impossible. He's tried it, and he said he's told you that he's used. When the arcanite stones start to get larger, they've been able to make the arcanite stones larger to use for the engines.
Okay.
But when the arcanite stone is destroyed, the larger it is, the worse the problem is with the destruction of the stone. So if you were to want to create a shield large enough for the whole vessel, you'd need a massive arcanite stone to do so.
Not larger shields, smaller shields, but with a space between them, so that they're, number one, they're not touching.
Okay.
There's a space between them, so that basically each plate has its own shield.
So
Does that make sense?
what you would need to do with that, I mean, that's a lot of work, because currently they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shields
Okay.
on the Sub Rosa. And those shields are all, they cover the whole ship. They're just individual shields on certain areas of the ship. The top,
Okay.
sides, 2 on the sides, and then underneath, and then behind, where the engines are. That one and the one in front.
Okay.
That one on behind where the engines are, when the engines are being used, they have to turn that one off.
Okay. That makes sense.
So when you're using the engines, if you get struck from behind into the engines,
Yeah.
that's an issue. So,
Okay.
uh,
I'll have to think about that one.
yeah.
And I'm done.
Okay. Let's move to Doll.
Yes.
What you got?
So of course the first thing that I thought was the Lotus book from Sal, there's no base to start with, unless she could come up with something, inspiration-wise.
Okay, so the book basically just is a information book about the plants and about how to process them, how to create lotus, how to make weapons with them, like blowguns basically. They're tubes, or in packets that create a cloud, like a grenade type packet. And then what each of them does and how to create the antidotes for each of them.
Okay.
That's what's in the book.
Okay. And then the antidotes being the lotus itself?
Yes, so the antidote process is not a, like, you get affected by the plant, then you take the antidote and it cures you. That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
The antidote is a prolonged period of use of the plant. The black lotus, the process and it tells you how much to take for each of them, minute amounts. It will make you sleepy if it's yellow. You're like walking around in a daze kind of thing. It's like microdosing with it. And so the black stated within there is if you're not immune to any sort of death magic, you don't even want to attempt this.
Okay.
With the black. You have to be immune to death magic to even attempt it. And if you're immune to death magic, lotus will not affect you. Black lotus will not affect you. However, you could build an immunity up to it nonetheless. So it's like kind of pointless or not. If it's an item that you're afraid you'll lose and you still want immunity to black lotus or something like that, then it'll work in that fashion. There's very, very little on the red lotus. It seems to be very mysterious. Like it's the notes that are written on it have to do with my mother has hidden the mystery of this plant from me and many others, and we have been unable to know its full effect and what exactly it does. It's a dreamlike state. It's a magical, illusionary, dreamlike state. Like taking a psychedelic in ways. It's strange, the plant is. So there's that. The antidote for that plant and for all the others requires a year worth of dosage to become immune to it.
Awesome.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, so you got all that. So you know everything there is to know about the lotus plants and flowers and how they're grown, how they're processed and all that. And then you forget it. And then it comes back. And then you forget it. And then you do it again. And it comes back over and over again. So basically that's one of the memories I will allow you to retain when the time restarts, that you kind of collect all that unto yourself. You've done it so many times. Okay?
Okay.
What else, doll?
The orb, the divination orb that she was so scared of.
Yeah.
I was thinking after she died the first time, she'd probably kind of be over all that fear shit
Okay.
and start trying to master that orb. Like figure out what the fetus is.
So you attempt to use that orb while you're in this time loop, and it does not work. There is no effect. And she learns that she's basically disconnected from the netherworld while she's going through this loop. Anything else?
Nope.
That was it?
That's it.
Besides helping with
Yeah.
the potions
Right.
things. So let's see. Timmy would have spent some time with you, talking about everything you guys have been through talking about the tentacles that came out of you when you aged him. If you're okay, if that's something that's going to cause you problems. And philosophically, you guys get into the discussion, and you just don't know. You know nothing about it. You know nothing about yourself.
Yeah.
You're just lost. So that's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would have happened with Doll. I think everybody on the crew probably would have spent time with Zen or with Rin. She would have made the point to spend time with all the crew members and talk to them about what's going on with them.
She would have. That was one of the things
One
I
of
was
the things
gonna
on
say.
your list.
Yeah.
So there might have been a time when you and Rin discuss things or whatever and talk things over. Yeah. All right. Eden, what you gonna do?
Well, one of the things she wanted to do was learn how to fist fight. She
Okay.
has wrestling. She doesn't have fist fighting. And so she would have gone to the Void Vanguard. And if Seth's down there, him too.
Okay.
And learned.
Okay.
Spent time with the Void Vanguard. Get
So-
to know all them.
By the time you are done with this and you guys leveled, I think you leveled 2 levels. So by the time you're done with this, you'll have, I don't know if you'll have 90.
She had 2.
Okay.
So she'll be able to go halfway.
So she'll be able to go halfway in fist fighting, and you were in the cargo base, so you'll retain that when the 2 hours starts. Right when the 2 hours starts, you'll start to retain that. You know how to do that. You would have worked with the Void Vanguard and with Seth. Out of the Void Vanguard, it probably would have been Crow Dog,
Okay.
who is definitely a boxer.
And Seth's really good with.
He fucked her up a couple times.
Yeah,
That's what
sure.
you're telling me.
I'm sure. Yeah, you guys fought
Okay.
a few times. All right, what else? Eden?
I got nothing else for Eden. I know.
I did forget that Carl would have spent time with Eden as well. So.
Spend time with Kara. She probably would have gone and bothered Doll a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got for
What
you.
about Zen?
Rin?
Ren? What the fuck? WTF, man?
You're in that headspace.
Tango Foxtrot.
So with Ren, like you said, like the crew,
Mhm.
going around each of the crew, making sure they're okay, seeing where they're at, what's going on, that type of thing. And then also spending time with Zen and spending time with Sejord.
Okay.
And together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As well.
You guys are a repetitive beginning of a polyamorous relationship.
We'll call it a throuple.
A throuple, whatever you call it. And you're not married, so Zen's not a unicorn, so we can talk about that. But you and Zen are complete companions with training, so you're like masters of this situation, and he's not. He's a beginner and never done anything, so.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of awkward, kind of weird, and mind-blowing for him, time and time again. However many times that this happens. So, when you look at the graphic novel, you guys will see more of that kind of stuff, the romance and things like that that's going on between characters. But he will have come from his ship over the years. You know that the closer you are to the cargo bay when it all started, the more memories you retain. Sejord is probably not going to remember things like you guys do.
Okay.
So Zen will have that conversation with you. And she also has the conversation with you about, well, we'll do that in the 2 hours coming up. But
We'll game that out.
yeah, we'll game that
Okay.
out. And then anything else with Zen?
Ren.
Or Rin? God damn.
Getting that spell book from Kara.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Time and time again.
I think that was it. I know I talked to you about the things I wanted to do beforehand. I can't remember. Is that it?
I don't remember. I
think
didn't
that was
write it down.
everything.
So,
The thing with Kara walking down the hall with the. Yeah. She's walking down the hall with her hair all messed up and her face is all.
yeah, Carl would have walked past you. I don't know how many times from being with Risa with her hair all messed up.
Yeah, the first.
And Eden would have saw that. God damn.
You mean
flies.
Ren? Did she walk past Ren and.
Or Ren?
Yeah,
Yeah,
her-
both of them would have at times possibly seen
That's
that.
none of my business.
Yeah, but you're aware.
So I know that people on the ship aren't supposed to have relationships with one another.
They're not.
Ren, she does not give a fuck.
Okay.
She don't see it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Can't divinate on her. No, I didn't know. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I don't know
Okay,
what
so
you're
she's
talking
just
about.
plausible deniability.
Yeah, with all of this, she don't care.
Okay.
She does not give a fuck. There are bigger, more important things
Gotcha.
than that.
Right.
Worrying about that.
Yeah, seriously. And seriously, we're, out in the middle of fucking space, stuck in a time loop. If somebody wants, you know what I mean, wants to create,
Mm-hmm.
Makes
like,
sense.
I'm gonna worry about that.
Right, especially the fact that you're in a time loop,
Exactly.
unaware that whether you're going to ever get out of it or not.
Exactly.
There were all kinds of things I'm sure that happened, but anyway.
So yeah,
All
just
right.
to state that.
Cool. So we're going to take a quick break right there. All that things are done. We're going to start back, and we're going to start back with the 2 hours of heading towards Lux,
All right.
and we will be right back. And we're back. All right.
Hit points.
You guys leveled, so go ahead and roll your hit points, and then we'll get started.
Nice, Eden.
Where do you go?
Eden rolled a 9.
Nice, Eden.
That's 12 hit points with your constitution.
And
4 and
6 and 4 is 10.
10 and 11.
I got 12 extra. 12.
total. Nice.
Randy got 4.
Total. Goodness. For 2 levels.
Oh no! No, I didn't roll the second level. For either of them. Thank you. Oops.
Shame on you.
So Eden actually got 22.
So,
Cool.
as a player, I had a feeling about the Lotus, so I took my new weapon proficiency in blowgun.
Okay.
I did not have time to look over for learn skills and stuff during the week.
Red got 6 hit points. Not 4, 6. Sorry, I rolled it really low. Goodness. Mm.
All right. You guys got all that done?
Yeah.
As the Sub Rosa is hurtling through space towards Lux at the fastest movement rate that the ship can attain, you guys begin to see the hull age all about you. You begin to get memories back of the last year that you have been in here. You just spoke to Elis about that it's been a year, so you're aware of that. The Sub Rosa will notify the crew
Yeah, so that's what she was gonna say.
of the experience of what just happened. She does it without your request. She just does it. Lets everyone know that a year has passed and that we are out of the time loop now, successfully, and that she is processing the information from the last year.
Was every loop recorded? Delara will ask her that. Were you able to record every loop?
I have been successful in retaining a few months of time so far. Hopefully, I will be able to retain it all before we reach Lux. Now, if she does that, you guys will be able to watch the things that you did. But it's a year. 17,520 times that you went through that loop. It takes a long time to go through the logs and start looking at videos of her, what she's recorded, her illusionary recordings of what's took place.
It'd be a whole year's worth of time times however many crew members there are.
Correct.
Years.
And she, it could overload her. Right now she's processing the information. She hopes by the time that you get to Lux that she'll have all that information recorded and be aware of it all. So there's that. But what comes to your mind immediately are the things that you had written down that you wanted to accomplish, and can begin to do that now if you want to spend time to do that. So I'm going to start with Zen, and she'll look at you and tell you that she'll say, I don't know if Sir George will remember anything that happened.
Maybe we should talk to him and see if he remembers. It's
Well,
not okay for him not to remember that much time.
it's not, and it is at the same time.
Why?
Because we can get in so much trouble for what has happened. We can get excommunicated from the companion of this guild for what just you and I have done.
Not if he requests it.
Brilliant.
If he were to request it, there would be nothing the guild could say.
So we should tell him and explain everything.
So, one of the things I was thinking about with everybody's memories is smell.
Yes, it brings memories back.
Yeah. So smells may trigger people's memories for those on the ship who don't remember.
You're so smart. Such a great idea. I imagine our perfumes mixed with one another creates a certain smell that if Sir Jordan smells, he might.
Remember.
So just being near us and talking about this, he may start to retain.
And maybe we should go talk to him. Or go be near him and see what happens.
Okay.
What do you think?
She heads out of the cargo bay.
Should follow her.
Okay, so Zen and Rin, they leave, and she goes up to your office. As you're going up there, she says you should telepathy him and let him know.
She will. She'll say, "See, George,
Yes,
will you meet me in my office?"
of course. No problems with my crew, I hope.
No worries.
Very well. I'll be right there.
Okay.
He comes in.
She'll say, "Please, sit."
He stops for a moment when you say that. He's like,
She'll go closer to him.
we've done this before. Zen goes exactly, and she goes over to his other side, and he sits down.
She'll sit down next to him on
Okay.
one side of him.
All right. What's going on? He looks at the two of you.
You don't remember. And we're trying to fix that.
So you guys begin to talk. And as you begin to talk, he begins to remember.
Oh, that was easy.
It doesn't seem to be a problem with this current situation. He does not immediately remember all the details, but he remembers some of them, and he remembers the feeling and the smell that's around him starts to bring back memories in certain situations. And then he looks confused, and then he's like, but we're out of the loop now. We can't continue this. And he looks at you guys, and Zen smiles and looks over at you.
Well, there is a way we could.
How?
You request it with the Companions Guild. You're the client.
Okay. So I need to request Zen. And she goes, and I will approve. Okay. That takes care of half of it. What about the other half? The Alliance can't know that this happened. We are captains, you are commander. We are not supposed to fraternize with one another. Which reminds me, I'm curious why I was chosen by Elis. You have something with him, or not that it's any of my business, but it seems like seems like there's something there. Zen says, she's not with you.
No. It might be jealousy, I don't know.
That's not good. So you get that figured out.
Okay.
And all of that's taken care of within, I'd say 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You guys discuss all of the stuff.
Okay.
And come up with a plan.
Okay.
What he says about the military is that we don't say anything. We just keep it quiet.
Her only concern would be Rosa saying something.
Yeah.
And how to deal with that situation.
He says, I believe, since we are on a shadow mission, a secret mission, that you have the ability to lock out certain things from being shared.
Okay, so she'll communicate with Rosa about doing that.
Okay?
The logs that are from her office
Okay.
will be
As you wish, Captain.
not shared.
As you wish. I will seal those records by your request. And she will ask you for a password.
She'll make
Okay,
one
all right. And then,
to be determined at a later date.
okay.
I'll let you know what it is. Think
Zin
about it.
says, Rosa, and she's like, yes, Commander. Can you even hide it from yourself until that password's spoken? She's like, yes, I can, Commander.
Do that.
Doing so.
Thank you, Rosa.
Yes. Done, she says. Shall I continue it from this moment forward within your cabin?
Yes.
I must inform you that in doing so, I may not remember conversations that you and I have had within.
Let's come up with another code word, and if I speak that code word, then you will not retain it from that moment on until I say it again. How about that?
Very well, Captain. All right, you get that done.
Good plan.
All right.
Switch.
Doll, Kara, you guys know that you created something.
With no help from the Nexus, I must state, as
Okay,
we are stepping into actually doing it,
Yeah.
because of what happened with Timmy.
But you know that whatever it was you created does not cure the parasites. You're not sure what it does. You're going to have to get back into it. You are aware that whatever it was required the material of the genomites to do so. The genetic material of them to do so. Which is dangerous. But you also know that you were searching for the answer, doll, and that beyond using the power that's inside of you, you were unable to create a cure for it. If you make your rolls, then you create a potion that will slow it down, but it will not cure it. You know that you probably have the power within yourself to create a potion that will cure it. But you also know, like you just stated, that the Nexus would be involved with that.
Would I have had enough time to figure out if by using that, is that putting a piece of the Nexus in what I am doing?
Yeah. At least it's aware of it.
No, I mean like,
Yes, that's the magic you're using, unless you do it from the other side. But doing it from the other side, from what's in you that, well, actually, no, you don't know any of this. I keep thinking, you don't know any of that. No, you don't know. You just know that when you use the magic from inside you, that the Nexus came out the last time that you did that. That's all you know. Sorry.
right,
The other doll might be a different situation, but
right. No, but this doll. So, yeah, moving forward, I guess, and that's one of the things she wants to focus on and learn. I wasn't thinking about that. Using that wand of focus to be able to create things like that, but not allowing the Nexus to...
using the wand of focus is using that magic from inside of you and focusing it. So using the wand of focus is
so
using the Nexus
no way
energy.
to separate it
You
out.
don't. Well, you don't know. You're not sure.
Okay.
You can attempt it. You can attempt to try to do something if you want, but it's up to you. You guys are creating the potions. You're writing down. Well, you're writing down the ingredients. You're realizing that you need Risa's help to use it on the experimentation on the Geo9ers that are currently wounded and going through what they're going through. Also, Gavor's body's going through it as well. He's not in that body, but it is a body that could be used. It's not the same race, but you know, you don't know if that's a thing or not. Like if it has to be specific to each race, you don't know. But you do know that it will slow it down in any race. But as far as curing it, you don't know. If you make your rolls. So let's make our rolls. So it's going to be inventor and alchemy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
And yes.
Yes, on both.
Okay. So you guys are able to create a potion that you believe will slow the parasitic infestation. You need to experiment on a body with it, but as far as you know, you think you've created it. So what body do you use? Geo9er?
I would start with the Geo9er.
Okay, I'm going to use a Geo9er's body.
That would be the best.
With Risa's help, you guys can do that. And I'd say that took probably an hour, a little over, to do all that. And simply because it takes at least 15 minutes after you create the potion, 15-20 minutes when you administer it to do the experiment on the Geo9er for it to take effect, for her to record the effects of what's taking place. And she tells you that it's slowed at half amount of the time. All right. Anything else that I'm missing? It was...
Yeah. So for the, we have one more hour. Then
Yeah.
I want to try that. She wants to try that.
Try
to
what?
create a potion that will stop the effects, and trying to do it with just her without allowing the Nexus to come through. Yeah.
You attempt to do it and you realize that whatever that you're calling you, as you use that energy, you realize the Nexus starts to become stronger than it was inside of you. So you've taken part of yourself out and he becomes stronger. In the process of doing so, the sample is destroyed. It becomes rotten as she tries this. And you completely pass out and fall to the boat.
Wow.
She drops, wand drops out of her hand, and she's just kind of twitching. Risa runs over, she's like, what the?
It's not
She
funny.
touches you and you come back to now you notice, and this is something that your memory retains as this is happening, that Risa is not a priestess. She's using some kind of innate healing that's coming off of her when she touches Doll. You see it. It's not a spell. And you come back conscious, and you're back to how you were before you did that. And the sample's destroyed. It's rotten. You look at it and it's rotten. You'll have to make another one.
I'm good. But I learned something huge. Wow.
What did you do?
So I isolated my essence and used only that.
You could have killed yourself.
Yeah, let's not do that again, Risa says. She goes, it took quite a bit of... it took a powerful spell to heal you. You feel the Nexus and you stir, and you feel it tell you that she's lying to you. And you look at her, and when you do that, you can tell in the look of her face that she possibly just lied to you. When she said this took a powerful spell. You know she's lying.
She didn't say anything. She just
No.
kind of.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
She just looks over at Risa and smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Then looks back at Doll and frowns.
I guess it will take time for you to create another one, but I do have the makeup of what you used on the Geo9er. I could synthesize this here
Okay,
if you want me to.
that would be wonderful.
If we have a way to slow this down, I mean that's a start.
It's something more than we've ever had. This will help us at least give us time, maybe. With time, we can
And
maybe cure this.
and I will do some prayers and see if we can come up with something, because I can make potions with prayer.
Maybe praying over
Mm-hmm.
this might work.
It's a start.
It is. It is.
Good job, guys. Excellent. Well done.
And
Other than whatever that was, she says and kind of
please
giggles.
don't do that again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
no worries.
that was concerning. You fell completely out.
Yeah. We don't want you dying, please.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's not acceptable.
Yeah, no.
Rin, you get a telepathic message from Elis. He's like, so you're on your way back?
Yeah.
It's been about an hour or so.
Yeah, we're about an
Well, about
hour out.
45 minutes for you, actually. I have to let you know things have changed.
I'm sure it's been a year. What can you fill me in on?
Before your mission started, I was solely responsible for you. I was in charge of everything that took place with you.
Okay.
That is no longer the case.
All right. What's changed?
Well, the Admiral has retired, and there's a new Admiral.
Okay.
Her name is Nova, Admiral Nova, and she comes from the heavens themselves. She is a minion of Gold Star, and she is a ball buster. When you return to the station, you're all to be debriefed, and you're supposed to report to security control the moment that you come in dock.
Okay.
She has Marshal Valkyrie that works with her, and she is the point of her spear.
You make it sound like we're in trouble.
No, if you feel intrepidation, it's because I no longer have control of what's going on with the Holy Hosts, with you, with this situation.
I see.
I can request things and do things, but I no longer am your head, the head of all of this.
I see.
It has been taken from me and given to
When
these
did-
minions of heaven, this military
When did that happen?
red tape, and that was about 6 months in when that took place. They also, a new general came to the Void as well.
Okay.
You know what the Void is.
The Void Vanguard.
That's where they train the Vanguard, the Void
Okay.
Vanguard. General Galaxis is now in charge of that, and he came with them. Let me say that.
Okay.
Now, this is me talking to you. The minions of Gold Star that work with you, they will have no problem with this because it is their people. As far as we go, and those that might worship other deities, it could be a situation. Shouldn't be something that's openly spoken.
Okay.
It's not that it's outlawed or any problems or anything, but everything that you guys are, you are everything right now. What you have experienced and what has happened is more intel than we could possibly imagine.
We have a lot of information.
They are going to bring you in, and they are going to go through all of this, including the ship, with a fine-tooth comb. They are going to search every corner. They are going to ask questions. Your debriefing will probably take 24 hours, I would guess. Maybe longer. Now, I don't know all the details, but some of the requests I've been given is, are there any infected?
So, Gavor was infected.
His
and
body is to be put in stasis. Anyone that has been infected, their body is to be put in stasis and invoked to where it does not continue to age. Risa will know how to do that.
She'll telepathy Risa and tell her that. Effective immediately.
Captain, that's already the way it is,
Okay.
but we cannot control the time with the parasites. The rest of the body, yes, but the parasites themselves will progress. However, Delara, Commander Delara, and Kara have created some sort of potion that slows the time of the parasites in half. We are trying to synthesize some more of it. When it's done, we will administer it to them in that fashion.
Hold on just a second, Risa.
Are we not?
What? Are we not what?
We're not having a funeral and setting them out? Like,
Hold on.
very well. Risa turns to the two of you and tells you what's going on. She's like, the captain just did it, and she tells you.
From higher up.
She didn't say that. She said it comes from the captain. That's all she's. What do you?
She'll tell Elis, so they're already in stasis. It's 2 Geo9ers and Gavor.
No, it's 3 Geo9ers.
3 Geo9ers, sorry. 3 Geo9ers and Gavor. Gavor has transferred his consciousness outside of that body. So
What?
he's okay, kind of. He's in Zumba right now.
Oh my.
As far as the timing, we can't control those parasites, Elis. We can put them in a stasis, but past that, there's nothing we can really do. Now, I did just learn that Dahl and Kara have created a potion that can slow the effects of the parasite.
The gestations of the parasites are a little over an hour, if I remember correctly.
Well, it's slowed. So,
How much? Will you make it back in time before the parasites take over the bodies?
she'll ask Risa.
With the potion, Captain, it would be, close.
So she'll tell Elis, so they have to make more. With the potion, it would be close. It would be like right there, so I don't know.
Minutes, Captain, she says, like
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
We would have maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
I can't allow this parasitic infestation to be taken. According to security protocols, we cannot put this on the Lux at all. So we need to have a funeral and let them go.
This is Risa.
Yeah.
She's like, hold on, I'm talking to somebody who has a higher pay grade than I do.
Very well, Captain.
And so she'll tell Elis all of that, that it would be 2 minutes from the time we get there.
He says, I'm the one that gave the order that no parasite is to be taken off any vessel that it's.
Risa's kind of freaking out,
But
telling me that she needs to.
this is above me. I think it's a bad idea, but it's above me.
So you want me to bring the bodies?
No, I don't, but they do, which means you have to. But I would take every precaution possible.
So she'll hold on one second, Elis. She'll telepathy Risa
Okay.
and say, I'm being told that we are to take the bodies to Lux, have them in containment, and take every precaution necessary. This is above me, Risa.
Captain, I want to put on record that I think this is a bad idea.
Okay,
Protest strongly.
that's fine.
She turns to Kara and she's like, Kara, you need to go to the engine room. Penton needs to get more energy out of this vessel. We need to hurry.
Done.
Maximum speed is
Sure.
not working. And she tells you why. She's like, we're going to have 2 minutes when we board on the docks to get these bodies off our ship. They want them on. She's like, this is a nightmare. What if it spreads on Lux?
Mm-hmm.
I told the captain I'd strongly protest.
Same.
She says to you, Kara says the same. Kara strongly protests. She wants it put on record. Both of us.
So she'll telepathy Elis and she'll say, so Elis, I've told them they're gonna do it. I want to let you know on record that Kara and Risa strongly protest this idea.
At least they're in agreement with me. That's good to know.
This is a bad idea. Do they have some way? Why do they want... Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
Several.
of course.
Number one, are Aphrodite and Goldstar allies?
Yes.
So those of us that worship Aphrodite should be no problem
What do you mean?
with what you were telling me earlier.
You should not be speaking the things about worship to any of these commanding officers.
So she's going to telepathy.
They will
The
most
party.
likely take you off the project, Ren.
Okay. She's going to telepathy the party. Say, guys, something really important, and this is the whole party. Oh, fuck. Rayla. Oh my god. Rayla. Oh, shit. She goes,
You forgot.
we have a fucking devil on our ship. Oh my god, we're in so much trouble. She telepathies the party. I'm sorry. She telepathies the party and she's like, alright guys. I just talked to Elis and we cannot, and you hear that deep breath.
You fucking telepathy me and sigh in my head?
We cannot mention that any of us worship anybody but Goldstar. If we do, with the new command that's on Lux, we will be taken off of the project.
Timmy goes, of course we will.
Timmy,
What?
this is bigger than us.
I understand, but I told you, there are bigots in that organization
I know.
still.
I know there are.
I
But
mean,
I'm
no
telling
offense
you-
to Kara, no offense to Eden. You have unraveled lots of corruption. I don't feel that way about you.
Seth just says, yes, Admiral.
Seriously, guys. Now, we have another problem, and I need help. I don't know what to do. We have a devil on our ship. We can't pull up there
Wait,
with Rayla.
don't you have her contract?
You start
Seth.
to remember that Zen has it, and that she handed it to you several times.
Zen, can I have that contract, please?
Of course, Seth.
Where are you?
We're in the captain's office.
You guys-
Can you meet me just outside? I'll
If
come get it.
they see on those recordings that there was a devil on this ship, and they hear of deals with devils and things like that, we are going to be taken off of this.
Well,
We need to do something.
and he'll go get the contract.
Yeah, she walks out and hands it to you.
And he'll walk right up to her.
She's behind
set
you,
it-
sitting at the table.
Yeah, he will walk right up to her and set it on fire. Right in front of her.
Okay. She turns her eyes she turns her head sideways and looks at the contract, and she goes,
And he goes and grabs a cigar after and sets the thing and lets it burn in the ashtray.
you see her look at her hands and start to look at her body, and you see that the flesh color that she is starts to change to a red.
Oh dear. Can you change shape?
She turns back and looks at you. She goes, I am freed, but there is magic that was not here before. Thank you?
You're welcome.
What is happening?
You're free. Can you change shape?
Of course.
Can you look like one of us?
Yes.
Good, because we're fixing to dock and they're not going to like it with a devil on the ship.
What are we gonna
She telepathies to you. What should I change to? Please tell me. So it's whatever Seth thinks. That's how she changes. Whatever it is you think, because she doesn't know what to do. She seems to be a little confused right now.
What do you want her to change into? You send him a mental image, he'll send it to her.
So the thing is if it's a person, there's going to be questions. Who is she? Where does she come from?
Have her be my familiar, my new familiar.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
Now,
for right now,
Like,
can you be
You
Doll's
won't
new
be.
familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't.
Can
be.
you look like Doll's familiar?
The
Turn
cat.
into an animal? Yeah.
Yeah, so some kind of like
Ooh,
a,
tell her to be a big cat.
yeah, be a big cat.
Okay. She changes into a tiger that's black and white.
There you go.
No.
And send that image to Doll,
Okay.
and it's in the.
You know, as long as she's within your range,
they can't detect her.
they can't detect her.
So she'll tell her, stay close to me.
Or Seth.
Or Seth.
Yes.
He's now aware too.
She'll say, stay close to me or Seth.
So you push it out now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Seth's is always 10 feet around you, always.
Could she have done that before Rayla started with that?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have.
Okay. So when it comes to having that out, you know that others can't use detections, they can't, things like that. You're not sure.
Yeah,
Your
I
true
agree.
sight probably won't work while you have that up 10 feet out. So, yeah.
Yeah, if he needs to use his
You
true
can drop
sight,
it and
drop
use it and
Yeah.
push back up, but
The recordings.
Hmm?
The recordings.
Just
Right,
everything
right.
that we just did.
Right.
And her being here.
Yeah.
Sabrosa, Zin says, and she comes back into the office when she gets it. Can you hide all existence of Aurelia from the ship on your recordings? She goes, of course, Commander. She looks,
You could forget it as well.
do so.
Hmm.
And she's like, it is done.
And then have her forget it.
Okay. She'll do that too.
That works.
So, you guys, it's really important that we don't talk about any worship other than Gold Star.
Captain, here, Kazat.
Yes?
Someone is altering Sabrosa.
What do you mean?
There is a change in her arcane rhythm. It's as if there's something in her or something missing from her. I will look into it and let you know.
I can see Seth sitting there scratching the big kitty.
The doll's laughing her ass off.
She'll go to Kazav.
Go to him.
Where are you? She'll say.
I am in the meeting room, Captain. You see Kazav appear.
Hey, what up?
Greetings.
She'll look at Zen.
He looks at the cat, raises an eyebrow.
She'll look
He
at
said-
Zen.
Got a new cat.
Kazav wants. She'll look at Zen. Kazav says that there was an alteration with Rosa when we did that, and he's gonna look into it.
Tell him that you did it and he's not to look into
She'll
it.
tell him I did it.
You telepathy to him?
Yeah, no, she'll.
She'll walk out of her office?
Yeah.
Sim will come with you. Sejord comes out too.
She'll look at Kazav. I did it.
Captain.
Captain, Admiral.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
He looks confused. He goes,
No,
Good.
Captain. Security.
okay. Don't you think it would be better for me to know the reasons behind this? I am the one that keeps Sabrosa healthy. you're wondering whether you can trust me or not, the answer is yes. I work for Elis directly.
You work for Elis?
Yes, ma'am.
There are several things that occurred on this ship. Come into my office.
He comes in with you.
She'll go into
As you're going in, Sir George looks at you and he says, stay out of this. He says,
Smile at him.
he smiles. He says, I'm going to go check on the Void Vanguard, make sure everything's okay. My crew needs, I need to see my crew, make sure they're good and kind of fill them in on what's going on.
Okay.
He salutes you, smiles,
She'll salute him back and smile.
leaves.
She'll go into her office.
Okay.
She will say, she'll say the word out loud once they get into her office, so that it stops recording.
Okay.
Privacy. For this room.
Very well. Whatever it is you want, Captain, I'll do, but you don't have to tell me the details if you don't trust me, but
So it's not that I don't trust you, it's that there's a lot that occurred on this ship. We didn't know if we were gonna get out. We were stuck for a year. One of my main concerns is Rayla.
that makes sense.
That is...
But then again, we are special ops, and this is a shadow project, so nothing. We don't answer to anyone. Elis is who we answer to.
According to Elis, he's no longer completely in charge of the Holy Hosts.
Goddamn fruit flies.
According to Elis, he's no longer in charge of the Holy Hosts 100%. He was in charge of us when we left. Things are different now.
I see.
There are, there's a new admiral on the station. There's somebody else who's in charge of the Holy Host. What did he say her name was? I'm so sorry.
Marshal Valkyrie and Admiral Nova.
There's Marshal Valkyrie, Admiral Nova, and General
Galaxus.
Galaxus.
He smiles and he's like, Nova. I know her.
Do you?
She is from the heavens.
Yes. And he said that she, excuse my language, is a hard ass, and that we're all going to be grilled. And also that if there's any communication of worshiping other deities other than Cold Star, that everybody who does not could be taken off of this project. So you can imagine, if they find out that Rayla was on this ship, it could be a huge problem.
I will do what I can, Captain. I do have connections very high up. Friends.
She's the one who set the bomb off. In our report, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm kind of in a weird situation right now. I mean, I can hide her once we're there, but as far as the report and what happened, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. She's the reason, one of the reasons that we made it out.
There is no way for us to cover all of this in this short amount of time. There is no way to hide all of this with the Geo-9ers and all of it.
Any suggestions?
I will do what I can if you will give me some time.
I will. I hope you don't judge me for making deals with devils. She'll look at him. It was for the right reasons.
He raises an eyebrow and he's like, of course not. You're doing all that you can.
It was for the right reasons.
I have no problem with such things.
So you'll help me?
I will. Let me see what I can do and I will notify you.
Thank you. Yes.
He kind of walks off to the corner of your office over by the window where the fireplace, the fake fireplace is. He stares at it and kind of chuckles a little bit and then looks out the window and you can tell he's telepathying or doing something.
My heart is beating so fast.
A few moments later, he tells you, Zav says, I believe I have gotten it taken care of where only you and your officers will be interrogated. I have, or I suppose the word interrogation is what should be used, but debriefed, as it were. And I can take care of the things with Sub Rosa.
I really
She
appreciate
perished
it.
in the setting of the bomb.
Okay.
You should tell your crew that.
Okay.
As far as the Geo9ers and all the others go, there will be no issue. I think it will be you and your commanding officers, those under you, the Holy Host individuals. As far as myself and Tazar and the Vice Admiral, Xavier, and others, we will not be questioned. If what just happened is correct. Fingers crossed, Captain. Luck be on our side.
Okay. She'll tell it to your party.
And for future reference, if we ever want to take this ship, we can do that. He smiles. You seem disappeared.
Sitting there with like a shocked, stunned look.
Zin looks at you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah.
She'll telepathy the party. Say, guys, Rayleigh died. In the end. She'll tell them all what story to tell so that it's, you know,
Okay, all right.
this is what happened.
Timmy's like, so we gotta lie? You hear Kavor say, and you guys, yes, Timmy, that is what we must do. And it is for
It's for the greater
the
good.
greater good.
You
Yes.
guys, if we get taken off of this, it's, you know, up to the whims of people we don't even know now. This is bigger than us. I think that it is okay, and she's using her charisma as she's saying this. I think that it is okay to lie when we're in a position to help save the world. Like, it's not a bad thing when it's like that, if done for the right reasons. And she's using her charisma for the NPCs. I
Okay.
could roll it if you wanted to 25.
Okay.
You know what, Timmy?
What?
They lied to us our whole lives. Manipulated and controlled us.
Oh, I have no problem lying, doll. I have a problem of them catching us lying.
I see.
Gavor says, well, the captain is right. And according to the law, we are part of the Holy Hosts, which are currently not processed the same way as common citizens. With laws, we are above them, except with our commanders.
She'll also communicate the information to them about the new people. So that everybody's aware of what's going on
Okay.
with that.
Gavor says, I will do all I can to protect your minds.
Thank you.
But in so doing, Zumbar will not be present.
Elis knows what happened with you and Zumbar.
Ah, very well. So, Bruce, Captain,
Yes.
I have changed all the reports and everything is in order.
Thank you, Rosa.
You're welcome, Captain. Initiating division of that memory. I will no longer remember it.
She'll go like this to the party.
Starting now.
She's gonna walk over and get a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Anybody want some coffee?
For real.
Zip goes, should we all go to the meeting room? she steps in there, and you guys traversed towards Lux with all these issues going on. The moment you see it, or the moment that Rosa sees it, she tells you, Lux is ahead, Captain. We should be there within minutes.
Okay.
It seems that the containment of, Kara, when you go down to engineering, and you tell him that, he's like,
She's going to put on her.
I don't want to do this, but we can. When we get there, though, we'll need to fix it. He overloads the Arcanite stones within the engines and increases the speed. He shuts the door down because the moment he does that, it starts to release Arcanite fumes inside that chamber. So he shuts it down. And
is there anything I can do to help? And I'll get out of your way.
Maybe in the future try to find a way to get rid of the, we've got the air units working, but I've heard, there are, my spells do keep the air clean, but not consistently. I can clean it right now, but it'll continue.
Right.
You should find a way to not do that.
That's actually a good idea.
And Ezra's talking to you about the shielding, and you guys get into this conversation. Kind of lose yourself on what you're doing, and he does too. Every once in a while, you'll hear, and he'll look over at the door and there's windows, and he goes up and looks in, and he's like, everything seems to be going okay. So you get that solved, is what I'm saying. When you get there, you got 10 minutes.
She's going to request that she's going to hand out all the uniforms that she got.
Okay.
And tell everybody to put them on so that we look professional.
Okay.
And she'll put on her captain.
You can bring Carlos downstairs.
Yeah, she'll bring them to everybody.
Okay.
And Carl just
And put hers on.
thank you. And since I can't do what I wanted to do, here, happy birthday.
Okay, so as you're standing there, Kara, and you give her the book. As she hands you the book, you see Kara's wings start to change, and they go to this lighter red color, almost an orange, but not quite, like an amber color. And some of the feathers have little flecks of green in them, and you see her eyes kind of glow a little, and as she hands this to you.
Are you okay?
I'm wonderful. Happy birthday.
Thank you. You're actualizing, by the way.
What?
You
She
look at your
nods at your
wings.
wings.
You can see they've changed colors, and your memories kind of come back from the year of what you were dealing with your family and the actualization, and you realize they match your eyes now.
You're beautiful. Just smile at her.
But she's still dressed in red, so.
Well, we have to go find a place to change real quick.
So you're
Passes
gonna
out the uniforms.
passes out the uniforms. There's some complaints.
Yeah, doll.
Timmy's
It's
like, dude, aren't we like?
Well, you don't have to.
I don't have to.
Yeah, we're special ops, remember?
It's all about how you would like to be perceived by these angelic beings from the heavens that Gold Star has sent down
This
to
is
interrogate us. Yes, that's what she says to you. It's all about how you want to be perceived by those beings.
So if we wear these, they won't be as suspicious, is what you're saying. So it's kind of like a covert thing that we're doing.
You say
I'll
that in
wear
her
it.
head or out loud?
In her head.
Okay.
He's like, I'll do that. He goes to
Sneaky
change.
on it.
He goes to change.
I'm sure there's complaints from each person as she goes around.
Not really. Like
No.
they
Will Zen put
understand.
it on? Will she fight her on it?
Who?
Zen.
Yeah, no, she puts it on.
Okay.
She puts it on for sure.
I was expecting a fight from Timmy and
Doll.
Seth and Doll. Those three. That's who I was expecting it
Timmy's no
from.
problem.
Nice, nice.
The only complaint Seth would have is if you took away his clipboard.
So
Keep the clipboard.
Sabrosa says, Captain, there are some vessels coming from Lux. According to the Vice Admiral, we're being guided in. They have requested that that we follow.
Okay. It's perfectly fine.
Okay. You guys are escorted in to the dock, and you dock and land. You are in space on the Lux station, and Eos will contact you. Captain,
Yes.
there will be an entourage ready to escort you to security control. You and your officers only. The rest of the crew may do with them what you wish. I'm sure they need some shore leave.
I'm sure they do. She'll tell Sabrosa who not to send this announcement to, but just send the rest of the announcement to the crew that they have shore leave.
Okay.
Then she'll ask the party to meet down in the cargo hold.
Okay.
Guys ready?
You come down. Teardrop looks adorable in her outfit. She looks so adorable. You look over at her.
So cute. That looks so cute on you.
So it all has rank on it and all that, and it also has a star on it for the starlight. But some of them, like Timmy, the collar is open.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the top button. You know that it's supposed to be buttoned all the way to the top. Not that you're gonna say anything or do anything, but
Okay.
well,
We're covert. We're shadow operations.
Yeah.
So they expect a little bit of. I'm sure.
Prodog telepathies to you is like, Captain,
Yes.
General Galaxis has requested that my unit report to the Void.
Okay.
I guess he's the new commander,
Yeah.
or the new, yeah.
Yes.
He's in charge of the Void now. The general is. He is he's the best of the best. He's from heaven now.
Okay.
Anyway, we are to report. They did not request the other Void Vanguard.
What are you to report for?
I don't know. I've been told to report to the Void.
Sure. Telepathy Exam.
Okay.
Is Void Vanguard included in the debriefing?
It should be. Or no, I mean, it shouldn't be.
They've been requested to report to the Void Vanguard headquarters. Is that normal?
No. Well, it has been a change of command. Perhaps that's what that's about, is the meeting with him for that reason. Though I am a little bit suspicious about that, Captain.
Do they remember? They don't, do they?
Not as much, Captain. I do believe some of these memories will start to come back.
Does she know what Crodog's alignment is?
She doesn't. She assumes it's lawful neutral, lawful good. You don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you could easily find out, but
Right.
yeah, it's up to you.
I'm sorry. I'm having a
Existential crisis.
I am. Fuck. She needs an advisor.
But that's what Zen was.
Yeah.
She'll telepathy Zen. Okay, so they're asking the Void Vanguard to report to the thing. Should I be worried, do you think? I don't know how much they remember.
Well, I'm sure Ice remembers he broke his arm 17,520 times. As far as the rest of it goes, I don't know, Captain. I'm was only 30 minutes, and they weren't involved in any of it.
Okay. All right, let's go, guys. She'll tell Crow Dog. All right, report to your.
Is there anything you would like me to do, Captain? It took you a while to respond. Is there a problem?
No. I'm sorry. I've got a lot of people talking to me right now. I
there we go.
apologize
It's no problem,
for the
Captain.
delay.
That's no worries. Okay. God damn.
I'm so nervous.
All right, you
Okay.
guys.
Her companion training and all that. She's gonna fucking file that shit in her
You got-
pan face.
You guys show up at the airlock. It opens,
Okay.
and
Can Kara request somebody to go to the alchemy store and get some supplies?
yeah, of course.
Just buy them out.
Do a Geo9er.
Yeah, just buy them out.
Buy who out? Like,
Whatever alchemy store there is,
well, there's several in town, man.
then buy them all out. We need supplies. Alchemy supplies.
We can commission that, I'm sure, to
Okay.
the military, since
Okay.
it's related to what we're doing. I'm sure we
He
can
looks
get
at
a
you kind of
commission.
funny. He's like, I'm not sure I could do that, Commander.
Well, I'll send in a request. No worries.
Very well.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Because I want to try to make some of these potions, and we're going to need a lot
You're
of
crazy.
She's not crazy.
Buy out all the alchemy stores?
Yes.
That's not crazy. That's called privilege.
Privilege?
I love your privilege, my friend.
Yeah, I love you too. I love Risa more.
Because it benefits the
She's
bigger
gonna
guy.
try to herd all these cats.
Okay.
Just like,
The airlock opens, and you see 6 men standing, or 6 individuals standing there in full armor, blacked out. They have the golden starlight symbol on their chest. Their helmets have thin little eye slots in them. The armor is more advanced and technological than magical or anything like that. Kind of looks like outside the game, it looks like kind of like plastic or some kind of weird plating, and it shines. It's shiny. And, they're wearing half cloaks on their left arm, on their left shoulder, and in their right hand, they have what looks like a sword with no blade,
like Eden's.
like Eden's, in their right hand. And one of them steps forward, and he's like, "Captain." He
She'll
salutes
look
you.
for insignia.
None.
None?
He goes, "You are to come with us, please, you and your officers. We
Yes,
will
sir.
take you to security control."
Okay.
Seth is in your head alone. Seth is like, really?
Come on.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah.
They don't outnumber you guys or anything.
She'll start walking.
3 walk in front, 3 walk in back,
Mm-hmm.
and they escort you to security control on the edge of the docking bay. Nothing seems to be changed except for when you guys start walking across the bridge away from the Sub Rosa, and you look under the docking bay where they were building the ships, you see several ships already built, and you can see that is not a building area anymore. Like, there's ships that are completed that are down there. And there's probably 5 of the Valiant type vessels and about 10 of what you guys are in as well, just sitting down there. And you guys go up the walk, and you go over to the door of the security control, and there's 2 Geo9ers standing there at the door when you guys walk up, and the one that's in front looks at the Geo9er and salutes him, and the Geo9er salutes him back, and he opens the door, and it opens up, and you guys come into a hallway that goes, so this is security control. Seth, you notice immediately the little eyeballs that are on your table that watch everything on the ship with Sub Rosa. You notice them in the corners and up high, looking and recording everything. You walk past a couple doorways, or a couple doors that are shut, and you come to a double door at the end of the hallway that opens up, and inside you can see what looks like Sub Rosa, but bigger. and it's floating in the air. Underneath it is a table that has a projection or illusion of Lux, and has information all over it, like what's going on in the city. There's all this different stuff. Your ship is actually got a title. It says the Sub Rosa, and it's blinking, and it's surrounded by what looks like a red parentheses, like going. And you see an admiral first thing standing on the opposite side of the table. Beautiful female. Oh, she's so pretty. Long, curly, blonde hair, golden glowing eyes, and wings. She looks like Eden, but she's older. She's much older, but very similar to Eden.
Eden would have stayed in her armor because it's all gold star type. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's how she dresses on the daily.
Standing next to her is a woman with jet black hair and blue eyes, dressed in an outfit that seems very similar to the individuals that just brought you in here. And on her back are two sword hilts, and she's wearing a half cloak, but it's on the right side and it's red. And she has wings too, and they're black. And then around the outside, you see these guys that just brought you in here, other ones of those just standing at attention around the outside of this room. This room seems to be a security control room for the whole city, is what it looks like. Off to the side, you see a disgruntled middle-aged individual wearing Geo9er outfits, security outfits with the blue. But he's human, doesn't look anything like the Geo9ers. Slightly overweight, full beard, and he's sitting in a chair, and he looks disgruntled. Like he just kind of looks at you guys and then looks away. They just stand there and look at you guys. As they walk in, the guards spread open and let you come in, and then the door shut behind you.
Vernal approach.
Okay.
Yeah, vernal approach.
Okay. What do you do?
Can I tell which one? General Nova was the one who was in charge, right?
Admiral Nova.
Admiral Nova.
Admiral,
Okay.
yeah.
Can I tell which one she is?
She's the one with the golden eyes and golden wings, and she's definitely in charge. Like, there's no doubt. When you walk in, you look at her. She looks at you with this "I am in control of everything around me" look.
Okay. She'll smile at her, very sweet, but like respectful. You feel me? She'll approach her. Admiral,
She smiles. She
permission
goes,
to come aboard?
"Permission granted. Welcome home.
Thank you. It's so good to be back.
I'm sure you and your crew are anxious as I am to get this over with so that you can have some downtime. Let me introduce my Marshal. This is Marshal Valkyrie." She turns and looks at you guys and smiles real big and nods. She goes, "She is, she is here for prosperity's sake. I'm sure that you've learned by now that Elis is no longer in charge. I have been sent directly by Gold Star from the heavens. And though the military of this prime material event are what they are, they don't exactly see eye to eye with Gold Star. We have learned of great corruption within the ranks, secrets, hidden things. That is why she is here." And she turns and looks at Valkyrie. And Valkyrie, at this point, she's no longer smiling. You realize she's looking you guys over completely. She has a knack for finding hidden and secretive things. She has been responsible for quite a bit of changes. Valkyrie looks over at Eden and Kara, and she goes, "As the two of you, I am assured by the might and energy of Gold Star that we will continue to unveil any corruption that exists. Anything that should not be towards Gold Star's might and energy should be dealt with."
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
She'll smile at her.
The Admiral says it too. She's like, amen. She says the fear of Gold Star is the beginning of wisdom, novices.
That it is.
Captain, we have received your reports. This is more a formality than anything else. Is there anything that you would like to add to what has already been given by Sub Rosa?
Not that I can think of. My biggest concern came from that laser. That laser? The giant one?
Yes.
That's new information. And then also we've been able to slow this process, and she'll kind of nod at Dahl and Carl. We've been able to slow this process of the necrothings, of the parasites.
Yes.
So that could be expanded upon.
That is something we are very interested in.
We might be able to come up with a cure for that, or you guys might.
Well, the simple fact of the matter is that the bodies have been brought and they are in containment right now. We have synthesized your alchemic equations and are using them and doing the best that we can to alter it in any way. We have many priests praying over them, and priestesses and clerics, and we will find an answer to that. Of course, you're responsible for what has taken place, and Gold Star will bless you accordingly. The reason that you have been brought in here, Captain, is you have the right to give commissions, and I believe some of your crew deserve such things.
Absolutely, they do.
She looks over at the security guy that's sitting there, and she says, "If you'll please do so." And he nods at her, and he brings a briefcase over to you and hands it to you.
Should take it.
Inside there are the suggested commissions for your crew.
Okay.
A raising of rank for you, unfortunately, cannot happen. But for the rest of your crew, I believe it is something that can take place. At least for some of them. You'll see the details, the files and the information are within there.
Okay.
Only you may open that. It will require your thumb.
Okay.
I know that it will be difficult working directly with us. Therefore, as to what your normal would be. So therefore, we have requested that Elis be the in-between.
Okay.
It seems that you have been working with him directly with the jobs of the Holy Hosts. That's not something we need to change. It should probably be left that way.
Okay.
I hope that you agree.
I do agree. That would be wonderful. And as far as, us working together, we're all working towards the same goal. So as long as it's for the greater good, I have no problems. She'll smile.
She smiles at you. She goes, "Well, I suppose that is all that I need from you and your crew, unless there's anything anyone needs to say." And she looks up at everybody.
Ren will turn. Glance at each other.
Very well. Then you are dismissed to go to the med lab and be checked over, make sure that everything is good.
Thank you.
We hear that one of your crew has a situation, and she looks over at Zombar.
Yes.
That should be looked into.
Thank you.
Of course, Captain. Job well done. The information that you have brought to us is immeasurable. Hopefully we can prepare for what is taking place. We have created a few new ships, Captain. If you're interested, they are at the docking bay and they can be looked over.
Thank you, but I don't think any of us, after what we've been through, really want to part with Rosa. Smile at her.
She looks across.
All of us are shaking our heads.
There's a relationship that comes with such things.
Well then, perhaps if there's any alterations that are needed, we can get that worked on.
Now that we can talk about.
She smiles.
Smile at her.
There has been new technology since you were last here, and I'm sure that that's something you would want to add to her. So,
Absolutely.
who shall we put in charge of that? I would prefer it not be penitent, if that is okay.
Okay.
I am thinking about restationing him.
What? Why?
He has been a security risk in the past, and I think that he is irresponsible.
I would disagree.
He's been working very closely.
Who says that?
Kara.
She'd say,
She didn't say it very loud, but she says I would disagree.
he's been working very closely with Kara when it comes to keeping things together on the ship, and
Valkyrie says, how close?
He's taught me how to become an arcane engineer. And if it weren't for him, that ship wouldn't be running.
it wouldn't. He's the only reason.
So no personal relationship about
No.
Very well. She steps back. You notice that, and Nova looks right at you, Captain. Raises an eyebrow.
Companion, panfish,
Okay.
smile at her.
Roll under your companion head.
What?
It would be
So I've got
diplomacy. It would be the
Diplomacy?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a moment.
I've got diplomacy too.
4. I feel like I don't.
Or just the companionhood proficiency. You understand what I'm saying? It's got the 3 under it, right?
Yeah. So I have diplomacy, and then I've also got, the companionhood escort training, so diplomacy is under charisma. The escort training can be under comeliness, intelligence, or wisdom.
So I'm gonna have the escort training do. You're gonna be able to do that one. Choose whichever one you want. It would probably be charisma. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I made it.
You're able to hide any kind of reaction or anything. And she says at that point, I know that there are probably things that have taken place on that ship being questionable, considering that you repeated it yourself 17,520 times. I have no concern about those things. I do, however, have concern about the future. She smiles, turns and looks at the Marshal Valkyrie, and she says, Marshal Valkyrie is a stickler with the laws and the rules, of course, as she should be. But I have told her that from this moment on, she is to do her job. Anything that took place within the year that you were gone will be sanctioned and set aside. It will be the future that you need to be concerned with. I cannot imagine what took place within a year. It had to have been very difficult. And my heart goes out to you all.
Thank you.
No. Valkyrie, she does not seem to be happy about that. She is eyeballing all of you, and Zen smiles at her really big, and you see her kind of go like this on her back and move her breasts forward and stretch. She kind of goes like that, and you see Valkyrie just look at her, and there's no reaction as far as like being charmed or anything. She just looks right at her and turns her head. But she did gain her attention and take it off the others.
She did.
And so, because there were some of them that you're afraid might have reacted in a way that would have sparked
Something, but
something.
Zen made the attention
That
go.
Zen made the attention go right to her. Whether it worked or not with charisma, it did work with altering the attention. And yeah, and at that
It
point,
irritated her enough to make her focus in on Zen. That's
yeah.
fucking beautiful.
And the Admiral smiles and she says, you are dismissed, Captain, you and the crew. There are medals and things of that nature. They want to do all these ceremonies. I'll put it in your record and I will send the medals to your ship. There's no need for you to go through the parades and bull that is involved with that sort of thing.
Thank you.
Stay on Lux. Your crew is not to leave the station.
Okay.
I don't know if we will need you quickly or not, but I would rather have my most important ship and their crew present if something takes place.
That's understandable.
Thank you again for your service. May Gold Star bless you all. You see her close her eyes and kind of hold out her hand, and you feel her praying. You may leave. You're dismissed.
She'll turn around and walk out.
All right. That's where we're going to stop this evening and come back to the next episode next week, or here in a little bit. If you guys would like, we can do that.
Yes, I would like.
But long story short, you have made it back to Lux, and things are not the same. We will say quickly, I don't want to have to game this out. You're taken from security control by those individuals that guided you before to the med lab, and you're checked over to make sure there's no parasitic infestations and things like that. They talk to Gavor or to Zumbar, and Gavor will come out, Zumbar will come out, Gavor will come out, they'll talk to him, and they do something which is called a medical red flag, which means that Gavor or Zumbar has to be checked out every day that he's on the station. He has to be checked out. He has to come to the med lab once a day, be looked over. If you guys are gone, that's different. You don't know what it means when you're gone. Risa's probably going to be notified that she has to do it, you know, kind of thing. You don't know. But hey, you guys are all cleared and everything. Nice. And so when we start back, you guys will be exiting security control onto the docking bay. And that's where we'll come back for the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Like, subscribe, share, hit the ding ding, all that jazz, and we will see you guys next week.
There's a gift inside the old gods granted me, a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure story shaping, magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that are fair. And heroes of the north, just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters to the enemy. It all depends upon the way that you proceed. Original GM, we're here to set you free. Come join in the adventure. Who you wanna be? Who you wanna be? We are here.